afternoon, guys. Rick Shaw here on the 25th of November 2021. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys in the States. We have a pretty good day today. One thing that happened, I always kept a lot of instruments around the house. I have a banjo. Kids got guitars. We got an electric piano. And we have a trumpet, a flute, pan flute, harmonica. And also a little mini sax, and then of course they had their recorders and stuff. And we were, I was spending a lot of time looking for like a teacher and stuff. With no real luck that was close, to make it feasible. But so I went online today, and I found like for the trumpet, Maddie was wanting to blow on that trumpet, and he's doing pretty good. Well, Dorothy picked it up, and I put a tutorial on. I forget the guy's name. I'll have to remember that, put it in the link. This guy was really good. And he was blowing different notes just with his lips, teaching how to put your lips and stuff. And Dorothy was sitting there watching it, and she was doing it exactly. She was getting the same tone note that he was getting, and doing the changes and doing the fingerings to get C, D, E, F, G, like that. And I was really amazed. So we did it. We ran it a second time, and she did it again the second time. He was saying how to put his lips and how to move the tongue, and she was doing all the stuff. I was very impressed how fast she picked it up. So she might be our little trumpet player, and she digs it. She wants to do some more. So that was a lot of fun today. And the kids, they like to blow on all this stuff. And I was looking on there, like for the pan flute and for other instruments. There's a lot of people online, good people that are putting this stuff out, which I was real happy about. I hear my little buddy coming. Hey, there he is. Hey, Bub. There comes the boys. They were on the other street. Hey, handsome.
Papa.
Yeah.
When Mom was here, I was over there, and when Mom was running, I was running too.
Okay, well, don't go too far from the house. But that's a lot of fun with the instruments. We're having a pretty good thing. But I'm starting to see some stuff on the news that really, with the stuff at the border, your vote's going to be worthless. It's going to be so diluted with all these people they're letting in. They don't got to bust the machines anymore. They busted the machines, got somebody in there that shouldn't have been, and that may never happen again, because what are they going to do? They're just going to get all these people. Now New York said there's 800 and some thousand people they're going to allow to vote that are not citizens. Who ever heard of that in any country? There's no country that allows that. You can't vote if you're not a citizen. And they're going to pass it. They're going to push it through. And some of these nutbags are going after it. Really crazy. And I seen Antifa. They're saying that they're going to have to arm up because of what with this Rittenhouse guy. Get over the side. Hurry up. Fight coming. And that's what they want. They want these guys to spark off something so they can put a martial law. The other thing, this thing that passed the House, this $1 trillion, infrastructure bill that's putting really nothing towards the infrastructure, it's got martial law in it, guys. Take a look at that. It's got a martial law plan in there. There's a lot of stuff going on that these people are pulling over. I see bite holes in a set. He's not really in the White House. They cover over anytime he's up on any of the news. They're covering over the presidential seal. I don't know what's all up with that. I really don't. It's pretty weird. Stuff like this never happened before. But they're pushing all over the world now. All these Jabba the Hutts, and they got these people down in Australia, the indigenous people. That's guys. That's just a Jenny side. That's all that's going to be. They're going to want their land. Those people are crying out. And the thing that gets me, if they had oil, the U.S. would be in there like flies. If there was a decent president in there, they'd be in there like crazy. But there's nothing for them. And so this is not really good at all, what's going on for those people. But you see Germany. The really funny thing is, Germany, if you want assisted suicide, which is legal there, you got to have your jabs. Well, what are you going to need the assisted suicide for? I'm telling you, it's getting so loony, guys. It's just getting so loony, this world right now, and they're not going to stop. It's going to be a full court press on us. They won't stop. They don't get it this time. They're just going to keep chipping away until they get their deal done. That's all there is to it. They're not going to stop. These police and military that are going in to different places, guys, you think you're going to be exempt? You're next. They don't want you. They'll use you. You'll just be a useful idiot for them. They're going to use you. So I don't know. Good usually prevails, or at least so they say in history, but of course history is written by the victors. But look what happened 80 years ago with all the people. I was just doing my job, and I had to feed my family, and I had to do all this and that. That's really crazy. I still, if anybody's heard anything about it, I still haven't heard where this big heavy-set, big-bellied guy, this woman didn't have a mask, so he chokeholded her until she was out, and then he threw her on the ground, and then he picked her up like a sack of potatoes and drug her outside because she wasn't wearing a mask. And they said that she died. She died in the hospital. And the way he threw her down, I can believe that. If anybody hears anything about that, let me know. So it's on the Telegram page. This stuff is getting far out of hand. I've seen in the States from ever since the YouTube came up and all these channels where cops are just going hog wild, and a lot of them are bad, but then the ones that they claim that they're good, they just stand by and watch them and they let them do their thing. They're just useful idiots for them. So, and now they're getting they're going to get more bold with this. They got this qualified immunity and all that crap. I tell you what, I don't go for that. They should take that away. Now these Jabba the Hutts they got, like up in Canada, everybody who's forcing these mandates up there, there's immunity for them. They can't be touched. There's no liability for the people who get it. And if they get your kids while they're in school or they're forced, and something happens to your kid and he croaks because of it, that nobody's held liable for it. Come on, guys. Wake up. Why would they push that liability off unless they knew something was going to happen? They know it's getting known far and wide to everybody what this stuff is doing. It's not something that they've kept in the bottle. The genie's out already, guys. The genie's out of the bottle. So, come on. And there's people that are getting sick. I can't believe now that I'm getting on Telegram and talking to some people. We're going to walk around the circle this way, bub. How many people have lost loved ones because of this? I had that Convid, Jabba the Hutt injury site. You can put it together yourself on Telegram and watch that. And I was seeing quite a few. One day I had like 500 where people write in and they tell their story, pictures and stuff like that. Well, now I'm talking to some folks on Telegram, and they're telling me stories of stuff that happened in their deal. And the one girl from England, the trouble she's having, and her family. It's just, guys, this is going to hit. You may not think, oh, it's fine, everything's going to be fine, but it's going to hit close to home for you too. It's coming. This stuff is here, and a lot of people voluntarily took it, and now there's the people who don't want to take it, and so they're going to force it. They're going to ram this down your throat, and this stuff that's in there, for me, I used to say the jury was out on me. Now it's just absolutely not. Just absolutely not, because you'll have to fight them, because you'll be gone one way or the other. I'd rather go out on my feet fighting than just submitting to this so that I suffer. A lot of these people that are getting this it's a terrible suffering. Now there was one lady come out. She worked over in Israel, and she came out and was saying about the Jabba Hut over there, that there's coatings on there. I put it on, you can look at it yourself. It's on the Telegram page. But there's a lot of good stuff. It only lets you see the last 100, and I've got 400 that I put on there. I go through the stuff of the thing that looks good and doesn't look like BS to me, I put on there. And but it'll show you the last 100, and you can scroll back and look at a lot of these. And some of them that are really good, I can see all of them I ever put because they're like archived. But I'll go back if I see one that was really good of a couple weeks ago, and I'll bring it forward again and put it on. And then people put stuff in there also. You know, they put stuff that they find on that page. So, but I'm on, it's t.me/Rickshaw Philippines, all lowercase. And anybody wants to get on there, I'm going to put you in the contacts, and then I'm going to hook you up with I call it me, or what is it, everybody, a new everybody, and that's like the group. And I think there's 40 some in there now. You know, slowly more people are coming in. People are finding the channel now, or the group, and a lot of interesting stuff on there. There's a lot of stuff I don't put on there. I'm not going into this. You know, these dead people that are supposed to be alive now and all that kind of stuff. And they it's coming. They keep saying, oh, you know, it's here. Yeah. That sort of stuff, I'm just tired of even looking at that. But I think you should get on there and look at some of this stuff. At least get on Telegram and go to like Real Raw News. There's a good one. There's a lot of pretty good sites, and it's not just news companies that's putting on. It's regular folks. They'll find a story and they'll post it on there. I can post stuff on there if I don't see something on there. Usually, though, if I find something somewhere else, and then I go, you know, I get hundreds of those a day, and I'll just scroll through them quickly. Usually somebody's already posted it up there already, because people are finding this stuff and putting it out there. I don't have the time to, you know, just keep looking at that all day. You know, these guys keep me hopping pretty good, and my sweetie, she's kind of busy too. But I do try to look and get this information. But I'll tell you what. These folks that are running the show, some of them are really. I mean, I think some of them are really insane. I looked at that lady from New Zealand. Oh my goodness, the way she was like laughing when she's this woman's, there's something bad wrong with that lady. I'm telling you. You know, you look at these people. I've seen. We had a friend that was put into the I call it the nut hatch, and it's because he had a brain aneurysm and stuff, and he couldn't hardly talk, and so that's where he was put. His insurance had him in this place, but it was like a mental asylum. And we would visit him, you know, 3-4 times a week. It wasn't too far from us, and he was one of our best friends. And he got better. You know, he passed away now, but he got better to where he could get, you know, walk around and stuff. But he was on disability the rest of his life. And you know, I was watching those people in there. And I'm telling you what, I think that's where they go get their politicians from in some of these countries. They must have went right into that place, because, man, there's something wrong with these people. And I start looking at all these news people. I think a lot of these news people are, even though they're putting out some good stories, you look at a lot of them, and to me, sorry guys, bunches of them look like dudes. A lot of these chicks on the TV look like dudes to me. I mean, if you start looking at it, I actually had one from a long time ago, and I went back and found it, and I put that on the page too. It was some guy. He redid it. He had some stuff up before. He doesn't have a lot of subscribers, but he had some stuff up before, and then he redid this thing. There's a new one out now of how and it's much better, how he goes through all the things to look for. Even the ones that get, you know, where they fix the hood over the eyes and shave the Adam's apple and all this, but there's still signs you can tell these people, you know, with the shoulders and the hips and the jawline. They even get some that shave their jawline and stuff. And, you know, how women's faces are done and how their bodies are. And you look at a lot of these people on there, you see them standing up at these different galas and stuff like that, and I'm telling you, they look like dudes. and it's just pretty scary. And they're giving you the news, so if they're that kind of person, how much can you trust them? They're in with these elite class, and it's pretty scary. And I don't say there's one around behind every bush or anything like that, but take a look yourself. Look at what this guy put out, and he's pretty much on the nose. And then look at some of these people, and you'll start seeing it. It was like here, and when I first come, there was a beauty pageant, and I was saying to one of my friends, "Oh wow, it looks like a couple of them are guys," and he laughed. He laughed. He said, "They all are." I'm not kidding you. Some of them dudes was pretty damn good looking. It's scary, I remember somebody said something online there. They said, they always used to look at the butts or boobs or something. And they said, now he looks for an Adam's apple. Scary, but that's the way she's going. But we had the bike out again. I had Maddie out yesterday for a ride, and if anybody knows on the LTO or even the police here, I saw a thing on the law that if a kid can reach around your waist, you can ride him. Okay, they can. Dorothy can and Maddie can. Mumu can't, so I don't take him yet. But when I'm riding them on the road, I would rather have them in front of me because their legs, I can hold them in with my legs, plus I got my arms right there. But I don't know if that's legal or not here. I was going to stop and talk to an LTO, but they're not LTO here. There's some other TDM or something like that here. So I don't know what's up with that. But I'm gonna have to ask around and find out what's up with that. But I feel it's safer to have them in the front. When I rode my older kids on the bikes, that's where I usually put them when they're smaller. Now my wife goes in the back. But, I had Maddie, I had a good helmet on him, nice shirt, and we zipped up towards Padre Garcia when there was no traffic, and we zoomed her up. And I do have to say the bike right now, I don't know why they come the way they do, but when we were coming back, that's all uphill from Padre Garcia. It's all the way uphill. And if I'm doing just regular speeds, okay, if I'm doing, regular city speeds and stuff and I need to pass, you pop her to third. This thing's passing whoever you want. It really picks up good. And if I go into fourth and I was coming up the hill and we had a quarter of a mile of nothing. No cars in front of us, hardly any coming the other way. It was just a dead traffic day yesterday. We got her up to 90, no problem, and it was still pulling. And I was like, oh, that's enough with the boy on there. And so we cut her down. But, the bike would have never done that before. It would do the speed, but it just didn't pick up as quick. And it doesn't seem to be hurting it at all, with the little higher RPM. Seems to be going much better. It was the best thing. Hey, how you doing? It was the best thing I could have done to that bike, I'm telling you. But I will take it down. This place that we bought it, they sent an email. They want me to go do the service again. Did I forget and all this? But I'm not going back to them. They never did what they were supposed to do on the first one. Hey guys, I'm going to go this way. And so I don't trust him. Even when I said something, oh no, that's okay. So they didn't do their job. They collected the money for this and they didn't do their job. So I don't want to deal with them. Now there's Wes turned me on to that one I did in our ride video. They sell big bikes and stuff. I'm going to stop in there and ask them if they can, take care of the bike for me. And I would like them to check it, check over everything. Hopefully they'll clean the carb and all that. I remember my buddy June, when I was at the bike shop helping him out. That was when I first got here. That was something. As soon as somebody came in for a service like an oil change, one of the standard things he did was clean the carbs. He took the carb off, cleaned the carbs, and I'll tell you what, the fuel here is dirty. It's very dirty. Now this one, it's hard to put a screen in this, one of those screens that sits down in the tank like I always used to use, because it's got that little indent in there, I guess to keep it from splashing out and all that. But I would like to, I'd like to have some kind of filter to catch all that. And you can't really see in the bottom of the tank to see what's in there. but I'm sure there's a lot of goo in the gas here now. But the machine's running just absolutely fantastic as of right now. It's, you don't really need a big bike here. I still would like to have one so I could get on the highway. When I go down to take this one, I'm going to look at that Tenere again. But I'm not doing anything yet until we find out what's going to go on here in this country with all the stuff that's going on around the world, how soon sports comes here. Now I see over in north of here, I don't think it was Vietnam, but I forget the name of the country. Starts with an S. They're making them wear shields now and all this stuff, and they're doing mandatory all this and that. So some of these countries are going hog wild also. And then, but like Japan, though, I see Japan's backing away from all this stuff now. Their doctors actually can think for themselves. They can think for themselves. They're not ruled by money like most of the doctors in the States. A lot of those guys, they just kept pushing on this stuff. They pop people on a ventilator immediately. Well, that's a last-ditch resort to save your life. You just pop somebody on right off the bat. And then they were giving them that drug that was just wrecking their organs, and it's super expensive. So they're driven by money, guys. And I've said that for years and years and years, way before I ever had the channel. I got to where I just want to stay away from them unless it's something super serious. But anything minor, I wouldn't even bother with them. And one good thing here, a lot of people don't bother with them. They just don't. And when they start getting all this health care and stuff, that's when it goes crazy. It's just not good. I had a buddy that he had a couple kids, and every time they got a sniffle, they were taking them in for antibiotic. Those kids were on antibiotics. The guy at work, he's telling me, the kids were sick again. We got them on antibiotics again. And it seemed like those kids were on antibiotics year round. And when I was back in 2016 and I seen them, those were the sickliest looking kids I ever seen. Good looking kids, but just sickly. They were a little bit gaunt in the face. They even came around and said, I don't feel good. They just shot their entire system, and the doctors kept doing it. And I even asked him, I said, did you always go to the same doctor? Yeah, same pediatrician. We kept them even as the kids got older. And that's what they do. They just keep pushing this drugs on them instead of figuring out what's wrong. They go ahead and they work on the symptom. They don't fix the problem. Get an earache. Hey, put them on antibiotics. My tummy hurts. Hey, put them on antibiotics. Oh, I got a temperature. It's only 100, but put them on antibiotics. Yeah, you can't do this. You can't do this. That's why I think these doctors are money, and there's some here too. And the thing that gets me here, they just had a big national doctor talking on TV. This woman was going to tell you what to do, and she's saying this and that about what's going on in this country. And if you look at her, it's disgusting. She's a fat pig, guys. So how can somebody take advice from this woman who's absolutely disgusting? She can't even take care of her own body. She don't know how to eat or what to eat, because if you look at her, and come on. I remember when I got my Indian doctor. He was a good shape guy, and even when I seen him last time I was there, he's still in good shape for an old dude. He's in real good shape. The doctor I had before him, he was like a big old farm boy. He was a big guy, big as me, just in great shape. And he got real old. He finally retired in his late 80s, and that's when I got the Indian guy. But he was in great shape, and when I went back, they said he had finally passed away, because I always would ask about him, because he was local. He was a local, and he didn't want to give you stuff. You'll be all right. Go home. Drink plenty of water. He was that kind of doctor. He wasn't really in it for the money. And they said he finally passed away, 103. That's the kind of doctor I want. I don't want to go in there and see some obese, disgusting-looking thing going to tell me how to run my life or how to take care of my health when they can't take care of their own. It's just kind of scary. It's just kind of scary. But that's where we're at with seems like with healthcare. And here it is shocking. When I was here years and years ago, when I was in the service, the people, you didn't see overweight people, but the diet here is just terrible. I have been noticing something on a lot of the pops here, though. It's sugar, not high fructose corn syrup. but some of them do have it. It depends. You have to look, because one store might have sugar and the other one might have high fructose corn syrup. Depends on where it comes from. But there's so many obese people now. It's just unbelievable. Even kids, you know. But people here, they look at these kids that are obese and they think they're healthy. You know, they're all proud of it. If they got a fat one, they let them get away with murder because they think that's good. No, that's not good. It's like they're trying to raise sumo wrestlers or something. It's just kind of crazy. But all the health problems that go with that, and then you go to a doctor who's obese, and they'll be just fine. But the diet here is high sugar, high carbs, and you have to watch that. And the one thing I noticed, even with these guys working here, the amount of like couple noodles and that kind of stuff they eat daily.
Jump over that brick.
Okay, but it's like the kids when they go to college. You know, I've seen a lot of these college kids, they just eat ramen noodles every day. You know, you can't do that. I mean, it's not even noodle. You know, it's like, I think it's got gypsum in it. You know, and wrecking their kidneys and all this stuff. And you look at a lot of them, and they're always tired. They say it's because they were up all night. Well, I don't think that's so much to do with it. I remember when I was young, there were a lot of times I was up all night. I still went to work, and I wasn't tired. You know, you get onto your second wind. You know, even if you just decide to stay up, as soon as it gets light, boom, you're back into your awakeness again. And I never was really tired. And these kids, they're saying they're tired. It's all about diet. That's what that's about. Hey, but you got to watch what you eat. I think a lot of it. I had, for a while there, I was getting a little bit clogged up, and I had, it actually was turning color. My nose was draining, and I was getting stuff in my throat that was went from like a yellow to starting to get to green. And they always said, you know, let food be your medicine. So what I did for 2 mornings in a row, the first morning I actually fixed it, but I did it the second day also, was I took the cider vinegar, and I chopped up a bunch of onions, chopped up a bunch of those red onions into small pieces, and then we put cucumbers in there, let that sit for a while, and I ate half of a big bowl for breakfast the one day, and I didn't eat a lot those 2 days, not a lot of other food other than maybe some fruit or carrots, something like that. I didn't eat anything heavy. And then, the next day I ate it again, and guess what? It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So there's a lot of things you can do with food. But I did learn something too. This was years ago. Sometimes when I'd start getting that head thing, it's because my nose would start burning on the inside. I'd blow my nose, clear it all out, and it would burn. That's not because you're acidic. It's because you're going alkaline, and vinegar will fix that. That'll definitely fix that. And also, if you have, bad stomach problems, and your stomach acid is 1 pH, okay, super acidic. Well, the problem when you start getting this reflux and all that stuff, it's not because it's getting more acidic, it's because it's going to the alkaline. It's going to 2 pH or 2.5, okay? And I've helped out people. You know, they take all this stuff to make it worse. The doctors give them stuff to make it worse. You know, the purple pill and calcium and stuff to make them go more alkaline, and they never get better. Well, at work, I had one guy, him and his father both had it terrible, and I says, hey, you know, you're taking, and he was eating Rolaids, chewing on Rolaids and Tums and all that kind of stuff, and he said his dad had the same problem. I says, hey, I'll tell you what, here. And I told him to get some vinegar. He never did it, so I brought some vinegar, a little tiny bottle I got, and I brought a spoon in. I said, here, take a spoonful of this, and he took it. And at work, he was like, wow, I feel better already. And I says, hey, you got to keep up on this. Then he got his dad to do it. They've been doctoring for years. Doctor want to fix you guys. How's he going to make any money? You know, it's like some bad mechanics. You know, they'll fix something on your car, but they don't just fix it all the way through so that you come back to them. I ain't into that, and I don't trust a lot of these doctors. I know my old man, when he was getting up there, they did a cholesterol test. He didn't want one, but we're going to run it anyway. We're going to check everything, and his cholesterol was up. He didn't die of any heart attack. He got pneumonia, but the thing was, he wouldn't touch that Lipitor stuff. He just didn't want anything to do with it. He said, that's the way, it's just fine. Don't worry about it. So, hey, but, that's something, we had a doctor saying, oh, yeah, you should go on that. No, why would I take something that's going to make me sick? And I know a lot of people, they take it and they think, oh, it's just fine and all that. Me, a lot of these doctors, guys, I tell you the honest truth, I don't trust them. My mother didn't trust them. She didn't trust him to save her life, that's for sure. She wanted nothing to do with him. And I think that's probably a better way to go. Now, if you break a bone, yeah, I think you ought to go see one. I had trouble with this heart thing, and it was getting so bad it would have killed me. I got an emergency flight back and everything to the States. The doctor here even said, hey, you need to get there now and get something done. And I did, and it didn't fix it 100%. Nobody knew what caused it. These doctors they're clueless on what causes it. Why isn't somebody investigating what happened to me? My heart rate, I actually went up, when I was in the hospital, I went up to 195. And I'm telling you, it rocks your world. It's like you're demon possessed. My legs got ice cold. I was shaking so bad. I swear, they could have put me in an exorcism movie and I wouldn't have had to have anything. And I was just clammy as could be. And it was bad. And it was happening frequently. So I went back there and had some work done. And it didn't get rid of it. I still get bouts of it from time to time, and I still say it's coming from my stomach. If I get any kind of stomach problem, then that'll happen. It's like a domino effect type thing. And it's always, every time I ever got it, it started with the stomach. I started with a problem in my stomach. And but the highest I've ever recorded, I got a little thing to record that. Highest I've recorded since then is about 135. And I won't take any of their thinners and stuff. If it gets where it's lasting, you worry about AFib and all this stuff. Chomp on some aspirin. They tell you to do that if you think you're having a heart attack too. Just chew some aspirin and swallow them down. Get that into your system and it'll lessen the severity of a heart attack. That's known. So, but a lot of things you can do yourself. I truly believe that. Some people, though, I see people that are getting, because of their diet, because of their diet, they got bad health problems, especially with diabetes. You can get fix that in a lot of instances, especially if you get on it early. Change your diet. I had one guy said, "Oh, my family, they're all known to have heart attacks in their 50s and 60s, and it's going to happen to me too." He said, "It's hereditary." No, it's not hereditary. It's because of the way they eat. I would watch how this guy ate. Every day he was buying one of these hamburgers out of the machine, hamburger and cheese, on the bread. That's what he had for lunch every day. He'd get them. He would actually go in the morning to make sure there was a couple of them there for him to eat. And he would buy them so they wouldn't, because they would run out usually every day at lunchtime. Guys were buying them. I wouldn't touch that stuff, And then I was at his house a few times, eating donuts, constantly. He'd sit there with his coffee and eat 3 or 4 donuts. He was a thin guy, though. He wasn't overweight or anything, but that's poor diet. My whole family eats like that. Well, it looks like you found your problem, and no doctor can help you with that. I don't know why these doctors don't have a lot of people change your diet. Some do. There are some really good doctors out there, and some do. But, they should be using food as a medicine a lot more. I actually went into a thing where they had me write my food down, what I ate for 7 straight days. And then the one doctor said, "Hey, we should do a fast on you." When I was having this stomach problem. I had stomach problem real bad there for over a year. Horrible. And had me do a fast. It was like a 5-day. He looked at what I was eating and said, "No, it looks good." He was asking me if I was chewing it well. He said, "I can't understand why you would be having problems." They did a scope down there. They couldn't find anything. When I was very young, I had an ulcer, but I was lucky. It was when they found out that it was bacteria, and then I did take an antibiotic for that, and that killed it. Still took a while to heal, but that's been gone. I haven't had a problem. Looked over my guts and all that stuff pretty good. He said, "I'm at a loss. I don't know why you're having a stomach problem," but that's lessened up quite a bit lately. And that's, I think, since I've started doing the vinegar regularly. I think a lot of my stomach problem was low acid. So, And all that stomach problem started. I had a hernia, and when the doctor was in there checking it, he said the other one was ready to go, so they did like both sides. So it was a double hernia surgery, and that it was after that when I started having stomach problems. I don't know if that's related or not, but that was the timeline of when I first started getting these stomach problems. And I actually had about a year where it was just absolutely horrible. I was reading as much as I could about it. I did go to a good doctor, and the one who checked all the foods and everything like that. He was referred to by my Indian doctor, and he said, no, this guy's really good. That's why when you get a good doctor, even though they don't take care of it, they'll refer to you somebody they know is good. And that's something that's invaluable. So, but it seems to be somewhat better. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. I don't want this one to run too long. And this is Rick Shaw out.